Peace. Jumbo, welcome to the Vital Hoops podcast, right here on Black Power Media Reloaded. My name is Fernando Cardenas, aka International XB. I am your host. This is episode number 96. This means we have 4 more episodes to get to 100 and close out the first season of the Vital Hoops podcast. So please continue to support. We got some dope episodes coming up. It's going to be really special, as is today, because I have an amazing guest. I'm talking about none other than Grammy-nominated Bronx native Divine RBG. Divine, welcome to the Vital Hoops podcast, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, King. Many, many moons, man. I haven't seen you, not even
No
on,
doubt.
we haven't even chatted on this.
Hey, man. It's an
Mm.
honor to have you, man, on the show.
Thank
That,
you, bro. It's an honor to be. I've seen your travel for many years. I think you was in Cuba for some time.
yeah.
Are you still in Cuba?
No, I'm living in France right now, man. But I am Afro-Cuban, man. So I grew up over there and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was in the States for a little while, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Made my way back to France kind of, through hooping and everything. Played a little bit professionally over here in semi-pro.
Okay.
Then I was back in Cuba, and during COVID, man, things got kind of tough over there. And I had my 2 seeds and the wife, you know what I'm saying? And we was like, yo, let's try to make a move to France because things were getting difficult as far as food and everything for the kids, man. So
I could imagine.
we made a move out here, and we've been here since like towards the end of COVID we got here.
Yeah, send my cheer to all the families you left behind in Cuba because that, regardless of COVID or no COVID, is a challenging
Yeah, it's tough
place
out
as
here.
far as where resources. So we
Yeah,
send I love to Cuba all the time.
appreciate that, man. And right now,
Um,
this mosquitoes epidemic, man, with the whole
mm,
chikungunya over there and Zika
mm,
and all
hmm
that. So it's tough times right now, man. On top of everything that's going on, now we're getting all of this. But thankfully the family's all right, man. Everybody's hanging in there.
Well, that's what's important. And your family here, as far as your musical family,
Yeah.
I've been for the last few years, just trying to keep my integrity as an artist, also keep my responsibility as a community activist and a person that understands their responsibility in community. And I must say that through the ups and downs, people like yourself and other people in our community that's still thriving and still pushing forward.
Hmm.
Um, it's been great to say that we were able to build the People's Army back up. We
Hmm.
built some businesses in New York, me, Em, and Umi.
Hmm.
Then we were able to use that energy to kind of like start recording new music, as far as Dead Prez. And then
Yeah.
that led to like us moving into the 25th anniversary of the Let's Get Free project. And now Dead Prez is on a world tour that I'm proud to say that is just the beginning of
For
more
sure.
things. I think the world is just ready for artists that have some substance. And
For sure.
I like to use that word because it's like there's substance abusers, then there's people that actually speak
Hmm.
and their art has a lot of substance. And
Yeah.
even me, I have a project coming.
Hmm.
I named it Brown Blood originally. It's just indigenous blood, but
Yeah.
sometimes I just be want to flip it. So I might just have a name that's like attractive to all
Okay.
worlds, but when you decipher the word, it just means something. So
Okay.
like I was thinking Soledad brother, just
Okay.
because of, George Jackson's book
Of course.
was Soledad, and it kind of means by yourself. And people that not
Yeah.
kind of know, they'll know it's the prison, but it's also a Spanish word,
Yeah.
and it's also another name for the album that I was thinking of, which was Soledad, brother. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. That sounds
And
real
just to
good.
commemorate George Jackson and stuff. So
Mm.
yeah.
No doubt, man. Hey, man,
Uh,
listen. I know you mentioned Dead Prez being on tour, man, and I'm
hmm
hyped because I just got my tickets because they coming through Paris soon, and I'm here, man. I'm not too far from Paris, so I'm gonna be there for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're gonna get back to that, man. But
Okay.
I want to start in the beginning with you, man. Let the people know a little bit about, your upbringing, man. You know what I'm saying? You was
Okay.
a youth in the Bronx, and how, hip hop crossed your path.
Okay. I'm from the South Bronx. My mother and my father is from the same project building. So basically they met together coming up in the South Bronx and Morehouse Project. So my mother is from the seventh floor and my father's from the ninth floor of 674 149th Street in Jackson.
Okay.
But Morehouses was a special place. Like I grew up with like Grandmaster Flash's son, Baby Flash, like Curtis Blow, AJ.
Mm.
One arm Jeff. You know, a lot of the culture was around me, but to be honest, they were just members of our community. I ain't know that my man Kareem, Baby Flash, was Grandmaster Flash's son.
Mm.
We probably was in our teens when we started talking about hip hop and what our fathers do. Because you know, when you young, you just want to play and
Right.
get outside. You ain't thinking about. I didn't even know who my father was in the community until he got arrested. He was
Mm.
just my father. But when the boys came to get him,
Mm.
they used to be like, "Oh, that's Ski's son. Yo, Ski, yo, you know your pops is the real one. Yo, he always putting it down, showing love to the community. You know, like because my pops as much. There was an era where the people that used to get money, however way they did, they would
Mm.
give back to the community. That's why the
Right.
community never rat on them.
Yeah, they
You'd be
love
like,
them.
yo,
Yeah.
yeah, they'd be like, yo, he do what he do, but when he come home, I don't know that person that you speaking about. All he does is show love, you know, give back, always participating. So it wasn't until our teens that I realized, yo, that's AJ, yo, that's AJ from that's hold on, I'm doing an interview. Say hi. Say hi. Come on. Say peace. Come on. I gotta you gotta meet Asher. Say peace, Asher.
Hello.
Say
Peace.
hi.
Peace. Peace. How you doing?
Say peace. Say peace. Say peace. Okay, go. I'll be right there. Go. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to do this interview with him. You know what I mean?
No
So
doubt. It's all good, man.
yeah, so basically, so you know, I grew up in a very strong hip hop community. You know, 149th Street in Jackson.
Mm.
Like I said, Curtis Blow used to come in a limo in the morning. You know what I
Right.
mean? And kind of just like get whatever he was getting. He would come out. Like you know, there was certain just people in the hip hop community that were my neighbors. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That I really ain't know the magnitude of who they was until I was pursuing a career. Like I
Hmm.
just seen Grandmaster Flash the other day over here in this part of town where I stay at,
Hmm.
and and I had to remind him. I was like, "Yo, Flash, you know I grew up. You know I'm Ski's son, more houses." He was like, "Oh man," and then I just kindly shared this with him. I told him, I said, "Yo, you a big influence for me without knowing it. You know, Kareem is a friend of mine, Baby Flash a friend of mine. But to
Hmm.
be honest, I'm Grammy nominated. I got 4 top 40 records
Right.
because because of you,
Mm.
because of you and the people in the community. You know, so to let people know, I'm from the South Bronx. I basically used to sell chocolate in the Bronx, which is weed. It was a kind of very popular weed in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
And Lord Jamar used to come and buy weed from my man Maintain and Kenjay.
Okay.
And I started working in the weed spot. And then what happened was M1 and Stick, they kind of like start coming over to get some bud. And then we start forming a people army and start doing like political education out of the spot.
Word. Okay.
You know what
That's
I mean?
dope.
So we turn this weed spot into a place where you could come, get some political education, learn how to take apart a firearm. Like we used to bring our firearms and get to know them together. Say,
Mm.
yo, all right, we it's not only about shooting them, how do we keep them, you know, safe, you know?
Mm.
So there was moments where we had got raided one time, but all the guns were taken apart, so we never got charged for none of the firearms, you know?
Okay.
So it's very important to know, like, if a gun ain't to put together, it don't work, and it's not a gun no more. You know what
Right.
I mean? So
Right.
we used to do the basics, take out the firing pin, you know, little things like that. You know, to
Mhm.
say then it'll be like, yo, this is a you know a gift that somebody gave me that is just it don't work. It's on the wall. You know what I mean? I
Right.
just have it here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you
So
know,
y'all kind of built like a little organization over there where y'all
yeah,
was having
we
PE
did,
for the
yeah,
people. Y'all was bringing people in and giving them political
yep,
education, all of that.
yep. I think that's how we met. Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Through the same vibe, you know. So
Without a doubt.
Um, so you know, because I'm Puerto Rican and I speak Spanish, I kind of felt responsible to kind of like translate this to you know, some of the original people that spoke Spanish
Word up.
and then once I started speaking Spanish, bro, I didn't realize how big our community is. You know, like I'm talking about people from Cuba, people
Word.
from Puerto Rico, people from Chile, people from
Yup.
Venezuela. Like I just, it was like activating this card. Like, bro, I used to have revolutionary bars that they never thought that I'd be able to say because they thought I was African American or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it was just very impactful, you know. And that same energy was the same energy that helped me get my deal with Sony Epic, you know, the DUI, you know, so it's an Afro Puerto Rican, you know, hip hop group. I also was a part of the Afro Cuban group band called Yerba Buena. very popular in Cuba.
Oh,
I wrote
Yerba
Wahid.
Buena. Yeah, yeah, I know
Yeah,
Yerba Buena. Yeah.
yeah. I wrote Wahida for Yerba Buena.
I didn't know you were rocking with them. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, not Tato Torres' band, the Afro-Cuban band Yerba Buena with Federico Martinez and Xiomara Lagarde. I wrote Wahida, when I was 19. I got Grammy nominated for that. And one put me on that record too.
That's dope, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm an eight ball. I kind of went on to do a lot of different things in the music business, that I can't say that I'm very proud of only because, I helped a lot of brands.
Okay. So
Mhm.
talk to me a little bit about your name. How that come about, man? Divine, RBG.
Divine, well, basically, when I got knowledge of self,
Mm-hmm.
I had to get a name from Supreme Alphabet or
Word.
Supreme Mathematics,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to get a name that kind of like describe my who I am.
No
And
doubt.
Divine was a hard name to pick because it had a lot of like was a fly name to have. Everybody wanted to have that name, but a lot of people, it didn't fit. You know what I mean? A lot of people it didn't fit. So what I love is that throughout the years, I've been able to like live the name out, and people recognize me as Divine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my father calls me Divine, my mother calls me Divino.
Wow.
Like, so
Yeah, it became real. Like your
yeah,
name for real.
between
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so talk to me a little bit more about how you connected with, Stick and M and how y'all built, the People's Army, RBG. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Talk to me a little bit more about
So
that.
like I was saying, it started like us, in a weed spot selling chocolate.
Yeah.
And then we would have political education classes. Like it was once a week. I think it was like every Wednesday or Friday we would meet up in the Bronx or in Brooklyn.
Was you already
Um,
rhyming at that time? You were already
Oh
rhyming?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Like I said, bro, I grew up in the South Bronx. Like we was rhyming like we was playing basketball. We
Mm-hmm,
was
mm-hmm.
rhyming like we was playing. It was a thing to do, especially like if you ain't have a ball, if you ain't have a bat, if you ain't have nothing coming from the Bronx, hip
You was
hop is a
rhyming, yeah,
sport, same way. You know what I mean? Even when you ain't have a pen or paper, that's when your freestyles had to be on point. So
for sure.
freestyling was a sport that we all played. And I feel like rapping to and talking to women like that type of old school when people used to say old time used to be like I'm rapping to this lady.
Mm-hmm,
A
mm-hmm.
lot of that slick talk too, I was attracted to that. Like
Okay.
some of the people in my community that were very charismatic and just talking to women or talking like,
Yeah,
or even when they wasn't recognized as like flirting and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess.
So I took a little bit of everything, a little bit of the players, a little bit of the gangsters, a
Mm-hmm,
little bit of the bodybuilders, that
mm-hmm.
was important. Like bodybuilding is a people don't talk about it in hip hop, but bodybuilding was definitely and martial arts was definitely a big part of hip hop in the beginning. A lot of people wanted to look like these people, dress like these people, these gangsters in our community. So, so ramen was like a sport, something that I love to do and was doing every day. You know what I mean? And then, you start your groups. My man OD, rest in peace, Manny. He passed away like about 20 years ago. He was exceptionally nice, you know what I mean? And my man Lamar L. I remember I probably was like 15, 14 when I took it serious, you know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay,
And then I met Joe Prez probably when I was like 17,
okay.
18. So I already had some years of like when Illmatic dropped, I was already rhyming. I was already
Yeah.
listening to Nas a certain way. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To give you a more or less like a time frame,
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
like when in 2000 when Nas was predicted to be like the leader of the new generation, I was staring at the poster like that could be me. You know what I mean? I already had that in my head. You know what I mean?
I get you.
So if he was like 19 at the time, I was definitely like 14 or 15.
Okay.
So Dead Prez, we really met through political education and self-determination. And I like to say, we miss our fathers. Our fathers were most of our fathers was locked up,
Okay.
So a lot of the bonding that we made was through that, losing a parent through to the system. M1's moms was locked up, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Stick was going through some substance abuse issues with his family. Same here with all of ours, you know what I mean? So we wanted the best. We wanted to be grown men, you know what I mean? We wanted to be revolutionaries.
No doubt.
We
No
wanted
doubt.
to be the people that were responsible. We've been saying we the best of the sons and daughters since we was young.
Hmm.
We already knew that.
Was you with the Uhuru movement as well?
Oh yeah, like yeah, with the freedom, of course.
Yeah.
we used to go to the Uhuru
Yeah.
meetings and stuff like that in Brooklyn. You know, I've been to a few. You know, we had to do that at the time too. And I
Mhm.
it used to come from the Bronx to that. So it used to be a little challenging
Yeah,
at that time when we used to meet up at Stick's crib or at M's crib or at the bookstore.
for
It
sure.
used to be like a thing, you know what I mean?
See, man, I wasn't in New York at the time, but my older brothers were in New York at the time, and they used
Hmm.
to talk to me about how much, in New York at the time, man, the culture, like the Afrocentric culture, was so deeply embedded, man, within the
Hmm.
people in general, man. And it was like, with the culture and everything, revolutionary consciousness with Afrocentric culture, and that was really live in New York at that time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like people were giving lectures, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it was reeking through the city. And
Mm.
we had a lot of powerful educators at the time too, man.
Yeah,
I must say, you know,
for sure.
and from all walks of life,
Yeah.
shit, I don't want to start naming, but rest in peace, Khalid
No.
Muhammad. He was active and
Yeah.
showing up at times with us and supporting us. I
Hmm.
remember Khalid Muhammad. I had did the Millie Youth March, and they had asked me to come. Erica Ford, God bless her too. She's still around and very active. But Erica had asked me to come to the Millie Youth March, and
Hmm.
nobody knew I spoke Spanish. So there's a Spanish publication called El Vocero, which was a Spanish newspaper, El Vocero.
Okay.
And there was a Q&A, and I was sitting on a panel, and the person from El Vocero says, in English, she says, I see that this is a Million Youth March, but I don't see no Latinos here. And I spoke to him in Spanish and I said, ese es el problema que estamos teniendo en la comunidad de nosotros, que tú ni sabes quién es tu familia, quién es latino, quién es moreno, quién es blanco, tú ni sabes. Tú lo
¿Sabe
que
quién es
estás
quién?
es discriminando, ¿entiendes?
Yeah.
So that love, after that, Khalid Muhammad had me in a bulletproof car the whole week, picking me up and showing me that I might not know how serious what I said was, but you know, he told me I need to be protected and you need to protect people like yourself. And
Mm.
that always still with me because Khalid didn't have the best reputation at the time. You know, he was like more of a radical. People didn't, you know, but him showing his deep concern for me in a moment where I expressed myself from the heart, he
Hmm.
seen that. He was like, yo, you know, you might not understand what you said. So I can't, my man Storm from the Outlaws, it was me
Hmm.
and Storm, he picking me up in a bulletproof Benz with Khalid's Benz, man. That was something to talk about. And then you know, like Panama from the Young Lords, his daughter, Mari Nieves, you know, Rosa Clemente, you know,
Oh man,
like my
shout out to Rosa
friends.
Clem. Shout out
Oh
to Rosa,
man.
man.
Yeah, I just think about the strong women in our community. You know, a lot of these men gave birth to strong, powerful women, and those two sisters um are definitely two sisters that I definitely commend. And Naoka also, you know, there's a few of them that I stay in contact with, I hold dear, and I try to protect them too, because they're people that kind of like put this revolutionary foot forward every step they take, you know.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Mm,
Man, listen, I know it's always been like,
mm,
artists like yourself, like us,
mm, mm,
that are, revolutionary artists, you know what I'm saying? That have learned from the fella Cooties and
mhm,
the Bobs, and we've been inspired by all of that, man. The truth is, it's not a lot of us, man.
mm, mm,
I'm talking specifically in hip hop right now, man.
mhm. Well, you know, I think that our next big revolutionary, you know, like something big that can happen
Hmm.
is like through, and I want to encourage everybody because I feel like everybody that is does like through journalism, especially journalism like sports journalism, you know, like when you can use sports to kind of like talk about subjects that you can't normally talk to because they're surrounded by a certain reality.
Mm.
So I encourage like, you know, some people that want to be journalists, take a look at sports journalism,
Hmm.
only because it's more than sports. You still have to talk about individuals and the decisions that they make and how,
That's right.
sports journalism is a very, very like even like when I think about Jim Brown, how Jim Brown was able to, use, his athleticism to say something, you know what I'm saying? And then, journalists at the time would have the tools they need to speak about the things they speak about. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, that's one thing. I think we need a lot of people that know what they saying, how to say it, and we need to support them. You know what I mean?
That's
Everybody's
right.
expressing themselves now. You know, social media
Yeah.
has everybody expressing themselves. Introverts are expressing themselves. People that don't talk to people are getting up and talking to the phone. It's kind of like they're talking to themselves, but when they press send, they talking to the world. You know what I mean? So
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
so it's kind of cool, you
That's
know.
right. Yeah, it's a lot. It's there's many ways now to express yourself, man, and to be heard, and at the
Hmm.
same time, it can be a positive thing and it can be a negative thing as well at times. But, we have to use the tools that we have, and try to use them the best way,
Hmm.
for what it is that we want to do.
So keeping it in sports, I've been working lately with West Side Gun and Smoke DZA. They have their own wrestling, promotion, a wrestling federation. It's called Fourth Rope. And our champion is Zilla Fatu. He's the nephew of The Rock. He comes out of that bloodline. So the community that knows about wrestling, go check Fourth Rope, man, because it's black owned and it's the first hip hop wrestling federation ever. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. That's dope. I'm definitely gonna check that one out, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's something different, We just did Paris. I just was in Paris. I'm sorry I
Oh,
missed you,
damn.
but we just had the wrestling during Fashion Week
Okay.
with Dizza and Gunn out in Paris. So we just had a full-blown wrestling event. And actually our champion, the women's champion, she's from Paris, from London.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Hmm.
You also dropped that track with DZA not too long ago, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's called Saint
It's
Martin,
Saint
Saint
Martin. Yeah,
Martin.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
From the Barcelona tape.
Yep. Basically, I was living out in Barcelona for a little while.
Hmm.
And basically started building a hip hop and graffiti community out there. I started this graffiti crew called Bronx Alona.
Mm.
I've had already two artists fly in from Barcelona, stay at my crib and paint in the city, paint at the Hip Hop Hall of Fame and painting at nicer attached crew space.
Word.
I just be trying to show love and try to, barter a certain way with great talent for us to kind of like share each other's spaces. So I also been working in Barcelona with a cannabis festival called Baked Park Festival, where we brought out Smoke DZA. We just brought out big trap Spanish artist called Lito Quirino
Hmm.
and Slater.
Hmm.
And we just had this last event, we had Core Mega. So I brought Core Mega out
Nice.
with the God Magnetic.
Hmm.
Core Mega's also
Yep.
going into his 25th anniversary of his album.
Word.
So, you know, the
That's
last
what's
few years
up.
I've been working with my brother Jungle too, Nas's brother. We've been up
Okay.
there at Mass Appeal, Street Dreams. So the last few years I've been like definitely involved in the culture,
Yep.
behind the scenes, helping things out, been recording here and there, you
Yeah.
know, and just kind of like learning this new game that we have, you know what I mean?
For
Hmm.
sure, man. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you about. I think you're involved also with the Last Prisoner project.
Yes.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about that, man. That's
Well, basically, me, M1, and Umi.
hmm
Umi and M1 sit on the board, but basically, we opened up two cannabis dispensaries in New York City, which
hmm
unfortunately we had to close them down a year and a half ago, based
Okay.
upon just like how things were working in New York, and we wanted to protect our brand and and our community because we want to do things the right way. So, through our dispensary, we started building a real cannabis community here.
Hmm.
And we made donations to organizations like 40 Tons. Shout out to my man Corvain Cooper. He was arrested and was given a life sentence. He got caught with 40 tons of marijuana,
Yeah.
but he was pardoned by Trump the last 10 seconds of his first presidential thing. So, we've been saying fuck the president for a long time, but that kind of like hit home when somebody I knew got pardoned. So this is like, I kind of got love for that, especially like the last 10 seconds. Like my man Corbin probably never thought he'll come home. So since then, we also got with organizations like the Last Prison Project and just basically creating awareness that there are cannabis prisoners out there, people that are arrested for nonviolent drug offenses that have serious time, and we like to say their names and we like to raise some money. So the Last Prison Project has been doing a good job in facilitating a program where we can kind of like give back to the cannabis prisoners and the people that don't know about Last Prison Project, and you might be benefiting from this cannabis time. You know what I mean? I think it's important for you to take out a little bit and contact the Last Prison Project and see how your money could help somebody that, that could be you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
So new music. This is exciting. I sit on a nonprofit with Rohan Marley
Oh, word.
to build skate parks all over the world, skateboarding parks.
Okay.
So we just spoke to the mayor of Miami,
Hmm.
where Rohan and his family spend a lot of time,
Okay.
and we're looking to open our first skate park where people could come and skateboard. We'll also be, since he has a strong influence in soccer, we'll have like a soccer kick wall where you could kick. It'll be a strong graffiti influence,
Hmm.
and we want to build them all over the world. So it's
That's
called
what's up.
Skate AC. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So it's like skate all countries. But my man Jason, the founder, also alongside with another cannabis brand called Clearly Faded.
Uh-huh.
They've been doing great works for the last few years as far as like putting their cannabis bread where it counts, so they've been building these skate parks and they've been helping raise funds. And shout out to Jason, Rohan, shout out to All Lyrics that sits on the board with me.
Hmm.
And so look out for that. We'll be building skateboard parks all over the world
That's
soon
a
also.
beautiful
You know
thing,
what I
man.
mean?
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Talk to me a little bit about, I know you're also heavy into, health, man. I remember watching you on the back on my regimen, the joint with
hmm
stick. That was super
hmm
dope, man. You know what I'm saying? Back in
Thank
the
you.
day. That's always I've seen you on it for a little while, and that I'm also heavy into all of that. I'm actually now a health and wellness coach, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let me know a little bit how you know what I'm saying, got into all of that and
Like I said,
coming together with hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying?
like I said in the beginning, man, if you love hip hop, the bodybuilders influenced a lot of the gangsters.
Mm-hmm.
The gangsters influenced a lot of the rappers. So, like, I don't know if you remember back in the 70s, they used to wear these t-shirts called BVDs. They were like silk, like these silk shirts.
Okay.
Like you see Tukey Williams in them, kind of
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
shiny
yeah, yeah. I know
blue.
what you're
You
talking
know,
about. Okay.
so you to wear that t-shirt, you had to be fit, bro. So
Okay.
my whole life is like, I always wanted to look a certain way. Like Denzel Washington in the movie Hurricane, when he comes out of the jail with his white tee tucked in. It's kind of like his pants on the waistline for real,
Uh-huh.
not on your hip bone, but on your waistline.
Yeah.
So that image, that's what a serious man looks like to me. He's fit, he has his shirt tucked in, he got his pants where it goes. He got his boots strapped up. We ain't walking with our shoes laces untied and loose. We gotta have them tight. We gotta be ready for war. So I always had that image. I don't know if y'all watch any anime, but I'm really into Baki, Baki,
Okay.
Baki Hana on Netflix. Y'all could binge on that. But he's a young boy. He's the world's strongest boy, but his
Okay.
father is the strongest man in the universe. So he lives to fight his father, and his father made him to fight him.
Damn.
So when he made his son with his wife, he said, I made you so you could train him to fight me. He got to be able to fight me. He got to be able to fight me because he's the only one in the world that could possibly beat me because he's my son.
Mm.
So it got all this journey that he goes on. But just to give you a little bit, but I'm into like anything that has to do with like maintaining strong physical composition through healthy ways of exercise. I don't be in a gym like that lifting heavy weights. You won't catch me doing none of that.
Okay.
I won't do nothing to jeopardize my joints anymore, my lower back. No unnatural movements. So a lot of the things I do is like pull-ups, push-ups,
Lot of
dips, cardio, ride a bike,
lot of
um
calisthenics. Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of calisthenics resistance band, and then I do like machines on the weights. So
Okay.
a lot of the machines that they have for the weights are incredible.
Yeah.
They got great posture, so I like to use machines also, when I want to go a little heavy as far as like
Sure.
just build up my strength a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also yeah, I want to confess some. I went like 33 years without eating no red meat, you know what I mean? And for the last year and a half, I spent some time in Barcelona, and the beef and the produce, is just like well taken care of. Like Europe's produce is on another level. Like
Mm-mm.
as far as we don't got good.
Yeah, I know.
beef
Yeah,
and
it's
produce
different.
here in the United States. So I'm going to these fancy restaurants in Barcelona, and I was like, let me just try it. So the first time I had a piece of steak, it was like a little too chewy.
Must have been weird.
So that
Yeah.
was like, but I was just concerned about my digesting it and how I react to it. But I must say, man, I've been sneaking in some good steaks in there here and there, here and there,
Yeah, you're
and
doing all
it
right.
hasn't affected me. And I just say that to be honest with people
Right, right,
because I
right.
feel like people might be like, "Oh, Devon has been all these years." Yeah, I went 33 years without eating no red meat,
Uh-huh.
but I can say it's almost like saying I ain't have a drink for all them years. Now I can have a drink. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I wasn't abusing that, so I could be able to indulge in that now.
No,
So
no.
I could have a piece of steak if I wanted to.
I hear you.
So I'm happy to say that I've been sneaking in a little bit of some good beef in there, and it's been it's been helping me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you definitely gotta get the nutrients right, and
Hmm.
for sure, definitely find what works for you, man.
Yeah, but I've spent my whole life. I never really drunk alcohol.
Uh-huh.
Very, very light on the social
Yeah,
tip
same.
with the alcohol.
Uh-huh.
Marijuana has been, a savior to me. I met all of you because of marijuana. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for marijuana, I probably wouldn't even know, what revolution sounds like. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so marijuana, I like to give a lot of credit to Mary Jane too. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt, man. Yeah,
Hmm.
man. So you worked with a lot of dope artists, man. You've been on a lot
Hmm.
of dope projects, man.
Hmm.
What are some of the couple things you're most proud of, man, as far as artistically?
All right, so like as of recent with Nas's last three albums that he's Grammy nominated for and won a Grammy for,
Mm-hmm.
just being around his brother Jungle
Mm-hmm.
and the Jungle taking me in like a brother
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that Nas trusts me hanging out with Jung and trusts our relationship and kind of like supported our works, but in that support of our works and our conversations to hear these albums that I know he was making and tapping in with his brother and then making these albums. So that's something that I really like and proud to say that sometimes your community really influences everything that is beneficial to it. So like being around Nas and Jungle while he made these last, six albums and also like during these big business ventures that he's been doing has been very inspirational to me. As far as like just saying, yo, I never thought that Jungle would be my close friend of mine, and then
Mm-hmm.
not even Nas like that, Not
Mm-hmm.
saying that we the best of friends, but just knowing that we have a respect for each other and a camaraderie, a real brotherly bond. I think that's dope. So that's one of the things that I'm proud of that I was able to like in community help that. And A-pop also, as of lately, working with Smoke DZA,
Mm-hmm.
and West Side Gun on
Yeah.
their fourth Row project, and them also touring. I'm proud to say that that we help make sure that those buildings are built strong and able to last long.
Sure.
And also, being a part of that prez is something I'm very proud of,
Man, for sure.
because like I said, we was doing this shit from our hearts. And
Mm-hmm.
now to say that it's a revolutionary blueprint
That's right.
for filmmakers, for rappers,
Mm-hmm.
for actors, for anybody, doctors, that want to change medicine,
Yeah.
that press album is a blueprint for anybody that want to
Yes.
see real change in this world. So
For real.
if you ain't never listened to Dead Prez Let's Get Free album,
Man,
I guarantee you, man, just pick that up. It'll change your life like it changed both of ours.
without a doubt, man. It definitely did, man.
Mhm.
It definitely did, brother.
Sometimes you need to hear people that sound like you and think like you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, man. And there's very little work done like that one, man, as far
Hmm.
as our culture and hip hop, man. This we're talking top notch, very important piece of work right there, man. But speaking of Dead Prez, man, another dope video that you were a part of, man, was the Malcolm Garvey Huey joint, man.
Hmm. Shout out to DJ Drama.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, we was trying to put out a project. Drama was like, I want to do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Green Lantern also, because we did the joints with Green Lantern first.
Yeah.
But also Team Invasion, they from the hood and all. I got love for them.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna forget. I went to the studio to work with Green, and that nigga ain't put me on those Green Lantern Dead Prez shits. And And I think because Green, Green is a super producer too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think he was just too into it that didn't be like I ain't gonna hold you. Some people when they see me, they know they like, oh, Divine has to get on this. Like this is gonna make it a little more special.
Mm,
So I was a little salty about that. So I remember Em and Stick calling me and saying we putting together the DJ Drama Gangsta Grills joint.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's way better than Green shit. Gangsta Grills is crazy. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's better, but they do just should be like, you know, Gangsta Grills is a machine. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
So so I was on a 2 train, and we don't do makeovers, we do takeovers. So the Beamer, Benz, and Bentley shit was
Yep.
so dope, the beat. But I felt like the subject matter was so ignorant still, like
Word
Beamer,
up.
Benz, and Bentley, Beamer, Benz, and Bentley. And I love Lloyd Banks. I think he's a great artist, but I was just
Yeah,
like, damn, I'm tired of this stupid shit. Like, especially like Beamer, Benz, and Bentley, like the three biggest car companies in the world that don't give a fuck about us. Like,
word.
please, bro. So I was like, yo, Malcolm Garvey Huey. Malcolm Garvey Huey, study
Straight up.
Malcolm
That's how
Garvey
you.
Huey. It's like Malcolm Garvey Huey. I was like, then I had it all written, and then I go to Warriors. I call M. I always call M. I'm like, yo, M, I got this verse. I want you to hear it. And then I don't like to do it all the time because they'll be like, yo, just use that for your joint. Because it's not that they don't want to do it, it's just they just be like, that's hot for you. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Like
right, right.
this. And I'm like, yo, bro, I didn't write this for me. This is for you guys. I'm gonna rap, and you guys have to rap on this because we need to put this out.
Word
I
up.
swear it's been one of our strongest joints that we put out in the last
That
after
was
all the
fire.
albums too.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, every time we perform it, we have fun.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm
That's
proud of
super dope, man.
Malcolm
Yeah,
Garvey Hewitt.
yeah.
And it
You.
means something. I never got a shirt, but I see
Yeah, I
people
saw
make
the shirts
shirts.
is super dope
Yeah,
on the video. I saw that was the shirts.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for
People
sure.
make shirts and people making money off of it, but please, just send me a shirt at least, you know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Let the people know, man. Send you a shirt.
Because we all know Malcolm Garvey Huey, right? But niggas ain't never said like that.
Right,
So I'm
right,
proud of
right.
that. You know
Of
what I
course,
mean? Like
of course.
that's my order. Like if you
Yeah,
know that order, that's my order. You know what I mean? That's like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like my top five order. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. And another one, man, another video that I really loved that you was a part of, man, that was super inspirational to me was the joint you did with Intikana, man. The
Oh,
culture
Intikana
shot.
Kikoya. Yeah,
The
yeah,
culture
culture
shot
shock.
video. That shit is
Yeah.
powerful. That shit is
Yeah.
powerful, bro.
Thank you, man. Again, like the Yoruba stuff.
Yeah, man.
I think Intikana at the time was traveling and had a lot of the stock footage.
Mm,
And since I come from the Yoruba community,
no doubt.
I was locked in. Shout out to Intikana, a great young man,
Yeah.
dope
Yeah,
educator,
shout out to him, man. Yeah.
and like the indigenous community has grown, and I hope that he's still rhyming. I know he has some challenges because, he was independent on his own.
Mm,
Um, but more power to him, and I hope that he takes the opportunity to let his voice be heard now that there's more indigenous hip hop platforms for
for
him. You
sure.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. He was rocking with shout out to G Rep, man. He was rocking with G Rep for a little while. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? With Gorilla Republic and
hmm
yeah, yeah, I hope he's doing well, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
But
shout out
that,
to Good Republic. Those are my dudes too.
yeah, word up, man. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we
And shout
started
out
you would,
Immortal Techniques too, because when I think of Good Republic, I think Immortal
yeah, yeah,
Techniques
for
too.
sure,
So,
man. We started Gorilla Republic Cuba, man, with you know what
okay.
I'm saying? We
hmm
definitely, yeah,
Yo,
yeah. So
and
G-Rap
shout out to
Cuba is on,
Iz.
man. Yeah,
Iz
shout
is
out to
doing
Iz.
his thing, man.
Yeah,
I've seen Iz battle through a lot of stuff.
yeah, big up to
I've
Iz,
been,
man.
and I want to tell him now on your platform is, man, anything you need from me,
Mm,
just give me a call, man, because I really respect the work that I seen you put in by yourself, man. You know what I mean?
word
And with
up,
your wife, you know what I mean?
word up,
So,
word up.
I got a lot of love for Iz, you know what I mean?
For sure. Much respect, Iz, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So like I told you, man, I saw that earlier in the Dead Press tour. You did do a couple dates with them, right? In the
hmm
first when they was
Yeah,
around.
I did the first 2, 3 shows. I was supposed to go to do the Barcelona show, but it got taken off the calendar.
Okay.
And again, like if I could be there, I will. You know what I
For
mean?
sure, for
A
sure.
lot a lot of the times I wish that the promoters would, don't assume that we all come together all the time because
Mm.
they assume that at times. And a lot of times they'd be like, oh, Devon, I thought she was coming. And in my head, I'm like, how you think that works? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right, you gotta make it
Especially,
happen, man.
yeah,
You
you
gotta
gotta
make
make
it
it
happen.
happen.
For
Or
sure, man.
or say something, because the boys ain't good.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, I'm
Mhm.
definitely looking forward to that one, man. It's November 30th in Paris, man.
Yeah, but November 30th in Paris, man, and
Mhm.
everybody that's out there, please come support it, man, because
Yeah.
we getting old, man. It
That's
ain't,
right. That's right.
we not
It's
no
now.
young whippersnappers. Yeah, now's
Mhm.
the time.
Now is the
And
time, without a doubt.
and I feel like it's important for us to get on the road and start sparking these young
Word up.
revolutionary artists. You know what I
Word up.
mean?
Without a
You
doubt, man.
know,
It's time, man. To support that real
Mhm.
revolutionary hip hop.
That's
You know what
right,
I'm
bro.
saying? Yeah, man. All right, my brother. Listen, man. First of all, man, I wanna again thank you for your time, man. I
Oh,
wanna
thank you, man.
before I let you go though, man, there's a couple things, man. First, one of the things we like to do here at the Vital Hoops podcast, unfortunately these days a lot of our people they getting their information, through short clips, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Hmm.
whether it's IG or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, I think it's important for us to remember that we need to get back to the books at some point, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
So we like to do book recommendations, man. So if you have a book or a couple books that you want to recommend our people, man, this is the time.
Definitely the book I mentioned earlier, George Jackson, Soledad Brother. He wrote
For
it in
sure.
solitary confinement.
For sure.
I think that book kind of like represents me as far as like, you know, just want to think that somebody was writing these words in the dark every night in a hole. How did he write it? How did he get these thoughts off? It's a book that you ain't got to read it from beginning to end. You could start open in the middle and start on April 28th, 1974. And then you could go, because that's how I got into the book. I would go to my birthday, then I would go to dates that I remember,
Mm,
and then I would be like, damn, what was George doing on my birthday?
mm,
Damn, George was feeling like this, man. Oh man, what was George doing the day that we dropped the album? Oh man, 30 years before that, George was talking about some shit like this. So, yo, Soledad, brother, that's the only book I recommend right now. Why?
that's deep.
Because it's an easy read
Oh,
and
that's
it's bigger than the words. The dates on there and how he writes to his mom and his brother is just incredible, bro.
and it's an amazing book, man, for real.
Eh, Yeah.
For
So
real,
if
man.
you can get your hands on it,
Long
I
live.
I, I recommend it. Hell yeah.
Long live George
Long live
Jackson.
George Jackson and rest in peace to Jonathan Jackson, the
For
best
sure.
little brother ever. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
The
Yeah.
best little brother ever. Yo, all right, this is a secret copy, bro. I'm gonna just show y'all, man. This
For
is not
sure.
regular. So you see how I got to it quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is an original copy.
Ooh. Hold on.
This is
Bring it closer. It's
okay. There you go.
yes. Yes, Soledad brother.
So this is an original copy that these are the ones that he made actually in prison that was sold in prison.
Mm.
Can you get a
Yeah, yeah,
quick
yeah. I
picture?
see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you just open it up, like May 28th, 1967,
Hmm.
and you just get to know him.
That's right.
Yes. So definitely
Appreciate
that.
that one, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. And the last thing would be, like I said, we on a health and wellness tip over here, man. So if you have a health tip for the people, could be anything, something simple, something
Let me
that you like.
see. Health tip. Let me see. Soursop,
Yup.
to put in your water, coffee. And I'm back on spirulina. I know that Dr. Sebi ain't like it, but spirulina is still
Hey, man, I
still
know.
in my thing.
It's a good one.
Um,
I like it too. I like it too. I do like it.
Yeah, and then I'm on some clean creatine. So some clean
Yes.
creatine, I put it
Yes.
in my coffee as we getting older. This is good too.
That's right.
So
Monohydrate. That's where
yeah,
it's
and
at.
I recommend maca and moringa together. You will love me forever.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, maca and moringa together. You won't be mad.
Word up. That's where it's at then, man.
Maca and moringa together, the
Okay.
superfood.
Okay, okay. That's what's up. All right, my brother. Appreciate that one, man.
Yo, peace, V.
Can you tell the
Mhm.
people where they can follow you, man? Find you on the socials and website, whatever you got?
Okay, you can find me at Divine, the number seven, RBG, like red, black, and green. So it's DIVINE 7 RBG. Um, basically I'm on Instagram, Divine of the Day on Twitter. I ain't on that too much.
Hmm.
But and then Divine RBG or Divine of the DEY on YouTube, and you could just see like my scatter stuff. I will organize my music a little better as when I release this first album. It'll be my first solo album for real.
No
So I
doubt.
think that the people been waiting for that shit a very long
Hmm.
time.
Word up.
All right.
Appreciate that, my brother.
Thank you,
Salute.
King. Salute.
Salute, man. Uhuru.
Peace, King. Uhuru means freedom.
No doubt. Peace. All right. That's it. Episode 96 in the books. Much respect, Divine RBG. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. Make sure you follow us as well at Vital Hoops Podcast. Check out blackpowermedia.org. Check out vitalhoops.net. If you're in France this weekend, make sure you get to that Dead Prez concert, man. It's going to be legendary. Let's get free. And also, I'm announcing it right now with the BCSAK Afro Vegan Fest team. We will be in Lyon, France at the Wasai Afro Vegan Cafe. All right, you can get your tickets for that as well. Go to vitalhoops.net for that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and please share it. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, share it with everybody. I appreciate the support. This is Vital Hoops for the people, by the people, for the culture. Uhuru.